Welcome to the Sports on Pulse on Prime. Sorry, I'm Gary Al Smith, and we have some boxing. We have some news on the ban that Leo Messi has had, and also some analysis on that. Thank you for joining us. Now, first of all, we do some boxing, and Azumah Nelson Fight Night has been launched in Accra. The boxing professor has been heavily involved in the local game and trying to give back to the sport through several initiatives, and he's been very busy in the last couple of years. It's been great to see. Here's a report by Asari Bediako of our desk.
Exhibit their talent in a bid to give them the requisite global exposure. It is an initiative of the three-time WBC Super Featherweight champion and Herman Promotions. This is the first time the event is taking place at the Bukom Boxing Arena after the previous two editions were held at the Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel. The Professor Azumah Nelson, former Super Featherweight World Champion, WBC Hall of Fame inductee, and Africa's greatest boxer, is a key figure in the process of selecting fighters. The legendary and iconic boxer has visited Ghana's elite professional fighters, monitoring progress of each boxer at their respective gyms and homes. Azumah Nelson and Herman Promotions are committed to changing the face of Ghana boxing.
If they ask you who is the African greatest boxer in all times, nobody will say anything but Azumah Nelson. So I like to act. When I'm doing something, I like to do it great and best, and everybody will know that this is from Azumah Nelson, the greatest boxer ever.
Yes.
Came to this continent.
Yes.
So I like to make sure that we find a boy. We have, in fact, we have a lot of talent boxers in this country, but we are lack of certain things, So we get together and put these things together and make sure that we want to promote and bring great world champions in this country. So when you see us here today, we say come to the boxing arena, Bukom Boxing Arena, on the 1st of April. Come and enjoy yourself, come and support us, and so that we can achieve our aim.
On the night, Nigeria's Wahab Oluwaseun will battle Ghana's Abraham Osei-Bonsu for the national super featherweight title. In other bouts, Isaac Saki will slug it out with Kamaruddin Boifio for the national super bantamweight title. Emmanuel Mate and Stephen Abbey will fight for the national super middleweight crown. Michael Papo and Isaac Dowuna will chase the national super featherweight title. And in the night's biggest bout, Ghana's Musa Rahman Lawson battles Elias Farah of Lebanon for the international middleweight crown. Hector Mann is Chief Executive Officer of Herman Promotions, organizers of the Azumah Nelson Fight Night, slated for April 1 at the Bukom Boxing Arena here in Accra.
This is our new home. We're going to bring the world to Bukom Boxing Arena. It's affordable also for the local community, and it can also be made, as you'll see on Saturday night, very luxurious and comfortable for the affluent of us in the society. The evening will be, there are 4 levels of seating. There's 20 Ghana cedis in the general stands, 50 Ghana cedis in the middle in the general stands. I have a VIP section which holds 246 people, and I will have 2 VIP lounge bars there serving drinks. Everything will be in plastic, and that'll be 150 Ghana cedis. And then ringside tables, I have 16 ringside tables available. And they'll be catered for with complimentary food and drinks. And they're 300 Ghana cedis per seat. It will be well organised. And that's why we're going to Bukom Stadium, and then we're going to bring it to everybody. We're making it accessible to everybody.
Should be a great night. In football, this evening should not be a very good one for Leo Messi. Easily one of the best footballers on the planet, some say of all time. He's been at the end of a 4-game ban from FIFA. He got the ban because apparently he insulted an assistant in the game against Chile in the World Cup qualifiers in the CONMEBOL region. He was dealt the suspension and a $160 fine by FIFA's disciplinary panel. He will miss 4 of Argentina's remaining 5 World Cup qualifiers, including tonight's match against Bolivia. But he can return for Argentina's final qualifier away to Ecuador. That will be in October. FIFA said in a statement that Messi was guilty of having directed insulting words and at an assistant ref, and added that this decision is in line with FIFA disciplinary committee's previous rulings in similar cases. So let's get some reaction now to this story. And for those who have been following world football, you know that Argentine football has been in a lot of trouble recently. Juan Arango is monitoring what's been going on in Brazil, Argentina, and all of South America. And from Buenos Aires, you give us the lowdown. Juan, thank you very much for joining us.
What's up, man? How's it going? Everything good?
Yes, everything is well. Now, how does this Messi story go into the bigger narrative? We know that Argentine football is in a mess. We know that the Argentine FA are so broke that they are unable to pay the coach and he's coaching for free. That Messi is the one who has been paying for the fees for even the security detail around the national team. What's going on?
Well, yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, that's true. I mean, he was doing it as certainly that, of course, that those particular situations have been, I guess, solved, at least the security end. They still owe Tata Martino, I think, if I'm not mistaken, around 6-7 months worth of salary from his time as national team coach just last year. There's been a lot of issues. Oh, even the under-20 coach, Claudio Ubeda, he had to get money from his daughter to be able to maintain himself as far as that concerned. But it's not just a financial situation. It's the political situation right now. I mean, Argentina for months, and it's been warned by Gianni Infantino as well as Diego Maradona at one point or another, that they've been on the verge of being disaffiliated from FIFA because they've been well over 2 years without a formal president at the helm. Yes, there have been a couple of individuals that have been able to fill in, but as of tomorrow, Claudio Chiquitapia, who happens to be the brother-in-law of pretty much the president of the largest workers' union in Argentina, he'll be taking over as president tomorrow, as pretty much ran unopposed. But there's been a lot. I mean, we could write a Russian novel. We could probably be on the air for about 5 or 6 hours just to get into the depth and the breadth of
so in brief, Argentine
happening.
football is in turmoil, Juan. So let's zero in on Messi. Mm-hmm. To what extent has his frustration, we know that he's been very frustrated with things in the national team. Is it that he's feeling it so much that it's now boiling over? Because we don't know Messi to, be this invective against officials for his club or country.
It's that, and watching, he's actually at Young Steelers right now. He's watching as Argentina are losing right now 1-0. And it is. I mean, you hit it right on the nail. It's the frustration of everything else that is going on in Argentine football. Charter flights that weren't booked. Their trip from Brazil to the World Cup qualifier against Colombia happened to be on the same airplane that crashed in Colombia a couple of weeks later.
Wow. Just to give you a little bit of the same exact airplane, same exact airline, and that happened. And there was reports of Lionel Messi throwing up during the flight because of the turbulence. And then 2 weeks later, you hear that. I mean, that's like, oh my God, Start thinking of other things. Okay, Juan, thank you very much for your perspective. The line just went off just as we were finishing that interview. But Juan Arango reports for beIN Sports in Argentina, and we are grateful for his time. So that's the sport for now. We'll try and give you more perspective to the global news stories that are trending. But for more on the international friendlies that are going on around the world, head over to the sports page of myjoyonline.com. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. I'm Gary Al Smith, and that's been the sport for now.